ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Okay. So last time, if all of you remember, we had seen till Urjitaha. From Upendraha till Urjitaha, they were all the different stories revolving around Vamana Avatara. In the next few set of names also, it talks about Vamana only, but a few other stories also are combined. So let's start. Next is Atindraha. Atindraha. अतीत्य इन्द्रं स्थितः ज्ञानैश्वर्यादिभिः स्वभावसिद्धैः इति अतीन्द्रः. Meaning one who is greater even than Indra, who is the king of gods in all aspects, be it knowledge, strength, power, so whatever you call it, that is Ati Indraha. Ati means more, Indraha. So that's how the name has come, Ati Indraha. Now, greater than Indra, obviously that has to be Parameshwara, that is the Lord himself. Because Indra is the king of gods, one who is above him or one who is greater than him is Lord Vishnu himself. So here you have a story for this. So once it so happened that now as usual we know that the Devas and the Danavas, that is the gods and demons, they keep having a fight with each other, and sometimes the gods used to win, sometimes the demons used to win. So like this, Indra continuously he was facing a lot of problems, and finally he comes to Indra and he prays to him. Now here when he comes, it so happened that once Krishna, it was during the Krishna Avatara times, wherein Krishna was staying at Dwaraka. So Indra came down from Swargaloka, from Indraloka he came down to Dwaraka and he requested Indra that you please, there are a lot of asuras, a lot of demons, they are causing a lot of trouble to the gods. So somehow you try to surpass them, somehow you try to kill them so that we gods can live in peace. So this is what he told. So here Krishna helps him, and at that time, what happens is Krishna helps, telling Indra, consoles him, saying that no, I've taken different avatars and so on, the demons will not attack you. So, like this, Krishna tries to console Indra in various ways. Indra is consoled, he goes back to Indraloka. And now, what he does is he invites, he tells Indra, he tells Krishna, Indra tells Krishna that you, along with your wife Satyabhama, Satyabhama is Bhuma Devi herself, an avatar of Bhuma Devi, he tells both of you now, you come with me to Indraloka. Just like that, I have come to Dwaraka to visit your place. Now you come along with me to Indraloka just to see around how the place is and so on. So both of them, both Krishna along with Satyabhama, both of them they go to Indraloka. And at that time there, Shachi Devi is present. Shachi Devi, wife of Indra. So now, just as usually, both Indra and Krishna, when both of them were talking, both the ladies also, Shachi and Satyabhama, they were having a talk with each other. At that time, Shachi Devi had a bit of pride in her. She feels that Indraloka is something which has got all the amenities. It's got a Nandaka, a Vanam, a garden, Nandaka, a lot of flowers. All the wishes will be fulfilled. Gandharvas, Apsaras, all sorts of entertainment. Everything is there. So Shachi Devi had a bit of pride in her, and she's showing the place around to Satyabhama. So when she was showing also, she had pride. She was very proud, and that's how she was showing the entire place. So Satyabhama was knowing this, but still, she just now you go to someone's house just as they show the place, she was also witnessing everything. And then finally, they come to a place where you had the Parijata tree. Parijata tree is present in Indra, in Indraloka. So it was present there, and looking at those Parijata flowers, Satyabhama feels that I need these flowers. And she comes back and she tells Indra. Now, before she comes and she tells Indra, she just randomly tells Shachi Devi that these flowers are very beautiful and so on. She doesn't make a statement that I want these flowers. She just randomly, while they were talking, while Shachi Devi was showing the entire garden, Satyabhama just says that I like these flowers. So at that time, because Shachi Devi was, you can say, puffed with pride, she tells this is not meant for people who live on earth, that is on Bhuloka. But at that time, she forgets, Shachi Devi doesn't know, she forgets that Satyabhama is an incarnation of goddess Bhuma Devi herself. It's just during an avatara, during an incarnation, that she has taken a human form of Satyabhama. So she forgets that, Shachi Devi. Shachi Devi was also moving about like this. Satyabhama, they finished, they see the entire place, they return back. And at that time, Satyabhama now, they both of them, Satyabhama and Krishna, both of them, they return back to Dwaraka. Now, little Satyabhama is a bit hurt because Shachi Devi did not talk to her properly and so on. So, Krishna asks her, looking at her face, he asks, what happened? Why are you looking so sad and so on? So, Satyamama tells that no, Shachi Devi told me that she was very proud. I wanted the Parijata flowers, and she told that it is not meant for people who live on earth. That is for mere human beings. It is only for people who live in Indraloka, Swargaloka, and so on. Immediately, Krishna sets out and he brings out the Parijata tree, not the flower, the entire tree. He brings down to earth. That's how you have the famous story of the Parijata tree being brought down for Satyamama. So, looking at this, Shachi Devi was a bit upset now because she thought that both Satyabhama and Krishna are mere human beings and she was at a very high status and so on. But now when Krishna he brought down the entire Parijata tree for Satyabhama, obviously Shachi Devi became jealous. She goes and tells Indra whatever Krishna has done. Now Indra is very, very angry. He forgets how the Lord had helped him before. So he forgets that and he tries to rage a war against Krishna. So he goes and first of all, he meets Krishna face to face and tells, how dare you approve the Parijata tree from Indraloka? How dare you take it back to earth? And so on. And this, all this when it takes place, Krishna doesn't answer anything and he just was quiet. So he says that I did not do anything. First of all, it was done by Shachi Devi. Both of them they had some argument and she made some statements. My wife Satyamama she asked, so that's the reason I brought it down. And there is nothing wrong in this. I just was trying to fulfill the wishes of Satyamama. So Indra he said this is fine, but still you cannot fight with me and so on. You cannot do this. You cannot maybe bring down the tree, it is there in my loka, it is meant for my wife and so on. Like this both of them have an argument. At this time Indra forgets all the times when the Lord in the form of Krishna as well as in all his previous avatars, the every avatara that the Lord takes is for the benefit of the entire world and for the gods in general, because whenever a war used to be raged, all the gods Indra, Vayu, Varuna and so on, they used to rush to Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and then the gods used to help them, the three primary gods. So now, when something happened against Indra, he forgets all the good things, how in various ways Lord Vishnu had helped him. And then at that time, he remembers the instance when a war had been raged against Narakasura. So Indra and Narakasura, they had a war in a place called Pragjyotishapuram. This is the name of a place. And at that time, Lord Krishna had gone and helped. We know how he won over Narakasura and how the various princesses whom were kept captive in the kingdom of Narakasura, they were brought, they were kept in Dwaraka, all of them were given separate palaces and so on. So like this, Krishna had helped. This is just one example. In this way, the Lord had helped Indra in various ways. But at this minute, Indra forgets all this. And the Lord also does not tell. Now, if it was normal human beings like us, in case, even though a person whom we had helped maybe before, if he talks against us, we will immediately point out that day I helped you, that day I did this, that day I did that. So we speak and show, but the Lord did not do that. He just is humble. He says, whatever you want to do, you do, that shows your character. But then I am going to do whatever I feel. You came, you asked me help, I will help you. My wife Satyabhama, she asked for flowers. I did not do anything. I did not steal or anything. I properly went to Sargaloka and I brought down the tree to Bhuloka. So this was the story. And here Indra, then though he gets angry because of the argument that takes place between his wife Shachi Devi and Satyabhama, and then later Indra bringing down the Parijata tree from heaven. Still, he gets angry. Later, he realizes his mistake, saying that the God has helped me in numerous ways. My wife was proud, and I must not forget that this entire Indraloka and so on is due to the grace and blessings of the Lord Himself. And I am also forgetting that the Lord has helped me in various ways. Narakasura is just one example. During his various avatars, not only the Krishna avatara, the Lord has helped me, and I am forgetting all that. And today, I myself have raged a war against the Lord. I myself am fighting. And he realizes this and he falls. He surrenders at the feet of the Lord. And that's how the Lord gets the title of Atindra, meaning one level more than Indra. So this is a nama wherein it is, the nama is Atindraya Namaha. Atindraya Namaha is a nama, and the Phalashruti is like Indra, like Indra Padavi, we will also be eligible to get high post, or you can say a high designation in life. It may not be only professionally, also even in our personal life. So I mean, be gaining a lot of respect, a lot of honor, and so on. But to be grounded. This is one thing which is very, very important in Atindra. Now, the Lord here also, it would have taken hardly a minute for the Lord to say that I'm the Lord of the three worlds. Who are you to come and ask me anything? I am great. I have only helped you in various ways. But he does not do that. He does not speak a word. Whereas Indra comes and he tries to prove himself that I am the Lord of the three worlds. All the gods are under me. I am the ruler of Indra Loka and so on. Your wife came and spoke ill about me. And just because she asked, you are taking down the tree. This is not done and so on. All this Indra speaks, but the Lord does not speak. So through this entire story, what we get to learn and what is the significance of this nama Atindraha is great people or people who are actually great. In reality, those who are great, they don't have to speak words. You don't have to speak that I am doing this, I am great, I do this, I do that. They do not have to do things to gain respect. By their normal everyday actions or the things that they are actually doing, they don't have to speak out that. Only through their actions, they gain a lot of respect and honor. So this is shown through the character of Krishna and through the character of Indra to show on the other side, wherein now, we also can fall in this category wherein we try to prove ourselves. Whatever now, you do one thing, you speak as if you have done 100 things, right? So this is human nature. So through this story, what we get to learn is how truly, if you want to gain respect, it's not that you have to speak and gain respect. Just by your actions itself, people will respect you. And if people are not respecting you, you can leave it. That's their personal choice. But those who really deserve respect, they will automatically get it through your good actions. So this is the significance of this nama. Atindraha, meaning one level higher or one level more than Indra. Okay, would everyone understand this nama? Yes? Okay. Next, Sangraha. Sarvesham Prati Samharat Sangraha. One who brings everything back during Pralaya. Pralaya is at the time of destruction. When the world is about to end, the one who collects everything, one who again starts the process of creation, that is Sangraha. Sangrahanam, meaning collection. That's how we say Sangrahalay. Sangrahalay meaning a museum. That is a collection of various things. That is Sangrahalay. So Sangraha meaning to collect back things. Okay, now for this, there is a story. So for this, you have to go down to Sangam literature, Tamil literature that talks about the story of Alvars. Now, the first three Alvars, those who are a bit familiar with Alvar history, the first three Alvars, they were born in the month of Aipasi Masam, Tamil month of Aipasi, in three nakshatras. That is one day, next day. First was Tiruvonam, next is Avidam, third is Chadayam. Like this, there are three nakshatras that are there. Avitam, sorry, first is Tiruvonam or Shravana Nakshatram. Next is Avitam, third is Chadayam. So like this, three nakshatras on these 3 days in the month of Aipasi. These three Alvars were born. Now, why Tamil months are mentioned? Because Alvars belong to Tamil Nadu Sangam literature. So therefore, that's the reason such nakshatras are mentioned. So it is like one day up next nakshatra. So Tiruvonam, Avitam, Chadayam, like this, it goes in the same order. So all the three Alvars were born accordingly. Then these were the first three Alvars. Now, if you see, Alvars are they are not born. It is believed that they are not born through the womb of a mother. That is not through a lady's womb. It seems that they were born through flowers also. So basically, like you can consider as Manasa Putras of Brahma. That is, they don't go through a proper biological birth. It is just due to the grace of the Lord or something. Or now all these things that happen, again, you need not consider this to be like some magic sort of things, but then it is just as we have someone called adopted parents or something like that, some concept, or maybe you consider people like, oh, he is like my son or he is like a father figure to me. When we say such statements, you don't go and do a DNA test to them, right? Or you don't check anything biologically, but then we consider people that way. So therefore these alvars also were saints who are born. So though they did not go through a biological you can say birth, but still it is believed that they were born through flowers also, like Sita. Goddess Sita herself was born out of Bhuma Devi. So, like this, these first three Alvars were born. And once it so happened that all these three Alvars, now they were all devotees of Krishna. That is Sangrahaha. Sangrahaha meaning all these three Alvars, they came together, they assembled together, and they went to a place called Tirukkovalur. Tirukkovalur in today's Tamil Nadu. So, they go to a place there, and there you have a temple for Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu. And there once it so happened that they were staying at a particular house. So they were visitors. Now in those times, like today also, if you go somewhere, you go to a particular place, we live in hotels and so on, right? So we book, you go to a particular place, you do arrangements from before. But in those times, or even today, if you go to certain villages, you can see that there is something called guest houses, or you have normal visitors or travelers coming in. So normally, just maybe free of cost, people maybe offer them, saying that for a night or so you can come and stay at our place and so on. So like this, these alvars also, they were staying at a particular house wherein there was no one else. But just because they were alvars and they had a lot of respect, as normal sages, they had been offered this house, and all these three alvars, they were staying together at one particular house. So here what happened is that during night, it turned out to be night, so the entire day they had visited all the nearby places, had gone to the temples, had done a lot of worship, their daily duties and so on. And now at night time, when they were about to rest, when they were about to sleep, they were hearing some noise, as if someone else also is there. So one alvar, he goes and he checks, and now the doors were locked. But though the door was locked, the first one felt that there was someone who's there outside the door or who's there inside the room. So like this, just as sometimes at night time also we also do feel, right? So the first Alvar, he said so and he came back. So remaining two, the second and third one, they said, okay, let us check. So the second one goes. He also goes near the door. He also hears some sound, and then he comes back. The third one, then he says, both of you are feeling, maybe I might also feel, let me go and check. So the third Alvar also goes, and finally, all three of them, they go together and they see as if they could feel the presence of someone else. Now, it was utter darkness. Now, those times again, you did not have electricity, so it was still, you have to go and find out something, no light, that too night time, is very dark. So again they go and they try to see, they try to find around if anyone is there. They could not find anything, but still they could hear the sounds, they could feel the presence of someone, but physically they were not able to see anyone. So finally they decide that let's not just waste time speaking to each other and arguing over this. Let's get a lamp, you can say an oil lamp from somewhere. Let us light a lamp and let us check who's there. And like this, one of the Alvars, they go, they light a lamp and come. And they were surprised to see that the Lord who was there present in that particular village's temple in Tirukovalur, he was present there very much, it seems. In the darkness, he was very much present in a physical form, but in the darkness of the room, they could not see the Lord, it seems. Now, through this, and then all the three Alvars, they feel very happy that the Lord himself has come here. And further, they have a discussion with the Lord. The Lord was very happy. And then the Lord, it seems that Lord Vishnu there, he answers. He tells them that why I'm present here. Do you know? Do you know any reason for this? Like all of a sudden I've come here. Do you know anything behind why I've come here and so on? So the Alvas say we don't know. Like we never knew that you will be here. Now here, if you see in Tirukovalur, you have again the temple of Vamana. Vamana, or it is you can consider the Vamana Ulagananda Perumal, as you call. Even in Kanjipuram, you have this temple. So Tirukovalur is also famous for this. So that is a form of Vamana again, or a form of Vishnu. So wherein one who rules over Ulagam, Ulagam is world, one who rules over the entire world. That is this Ulagananda Perumal, or this Vishnu in the form of Vishnu. So here what happens is when the Lord comes, Alvars come, the Lord asks them, do you know why I have come here? So then the Alvar said, no, we were just, we were showing bhakti about you, we were writing different texts on you, different prayers and so on, but we really don't know the reason why you have come here. So at that time, the Lord says that more than the temple, I like to spend time with people like you who are spending time in showing a lot of devotion, bhakti, and not only for yourself, you're also trying to bring other people on the right path. So, therefore, I like to stay in such places wherein my devotees worship me rather than temples also wherein uh, staying in four walls I have to be there. Though people from outside they come and worship, still I want to always, or rather I like to stay in the company of devotees. That's the reason I've come here. I want to spend time with you and so on. Now all the Alvars, they felt very very happy that the Lord himself, he left his place in the temple, he has come to stay with us, and that's how they felt very happy. So this is the, and then of course they chant a lot of names, and then all these Alvars, it is said, now though I don't know if anyone is familiar, but Sangam literature has a lot of this Divya Prabandham, more than 4,000 Divya Prabandhams, and that's how from this Prerana is, it was like an inspiration for them. Wherein when the Lord came and stayed with them, all these three Alvars from that minute onwards, they contributed a lot to this Divya Prabandham, and each of these Alvars wrote a lot of that Divya Prabandham, and from then on they started chanting it. Many followers also started chanting, and even till date there are people who chant this. Okay, so this is the significance of this nama Sangraha. So Sangrahaya Namaha is the nama. I think it is 160 of the Vishnu Sahasranama. Nama 160 Sangrahaya Namaha, meaning one who connects with devotees or connects with people around. Sangrahanam. So Sangrahanam is, you can say, a collection or a connection, meaning a group of people coming together. So group of people is the Lord also assembles himself with the devotees. He also becomes a part of the devotees, and he also stays in the place where a lot of bhakti is being done, where a lot of good things are being done. So this is Sangrahaya Namaha, meaning connecting with the devotees. So if you also chant this Nama, it is like the Lord will always stay connected with us. Always, the Lord will always shower His grace on us and so. Now, through this story, we must not consider like, does this such a thing really happen? Will the Lord come and stay with me? Okay, we two or three of us, we are showing bhakti, maybe we are chanting something and so on. Will the Lord also, maybe there's a dark room, can we also feel the presence and so on? Now, for this, there are different explanations. One, there are instances wherein, first of all, through such stories, it is like how much you believe in the story as it has happened. It would have happened. Alvars have experienced. Did they really see God and so on? Was the Lord really present? That is one part. And through such stories, it is like many. It is symbolical. Symbolical is to try to tell the people in general. Why Parashara Bhatta, when he writes all these stories with regards to the Vishnu Sahasranama, it is significant. It is like symbolic to tell that if you show bhakti, if you show devotion from your heart, from the bottom of your heart towards the Lord, He will surely come. His presence will surely be there. So through such stories, now when I say no, the presence of Lord is there, the next question that comes is where? I cannot see the Lord with my eyes. Where He is? You show me something, right? So when such stories come in, wherein the Alvars, it is believed that they really saw God, and that was because of their bhakti that they had, then slowly we start believing in things, and through such stories, it becomes easy for us to relate. This is one. Second is, just because today we don't see the Lord, or just because we don't believe in things, now where I can say the Lord, you show me something in front of my eyes, but still there have been devotees like this Alvars is one example. You have Prahlada, you have Dhruva, you have Mahabali, and so on. And it might be even one amongst us. Today we are born in the Kali Yuga. We could have been born in the Dwapara Yuga. We could have been born in the Treta Yuga. We could have been born in the Satya Yuga, wherein we witnessed maybe the Vamanavatara and the Satya Yuga, Ramavatara, Treta Yuga, Krishna Avatara, Dwapara Yuga. We would have also been there. It's just that we don't remember. And the Kali Yuga also, Vishnu Rata is a person wherein in whose house Kalki Bhagwan is going to take an incarnation. It is believed that it will be done in today's Madhya Pradesh. He will be born and so on. But will we exist till then? Maybe in this birth will not be there, because it's just the first half of Kali Yuga. Still many years to go. We would have taken many births, and maybe one fine day we can also witness Kalki Avatar. So the thing is, just because we don't see something, now this is not limited again to only religion, or you can say spirituality alone. For anything in the world that happens, we see there are so many people, right? They will, just because they don't see anything with their eyes, they'll just pass on comments and say, no, all this is false. You cannot say that things are false. Maybe 2 3 years back, some concept did not exist. That doesn't mean that things are false. A very simple example I always give you is maybe this online mode of connection, right? It was not that such a thing did not exist, but maybe 3 4 years back, it was not that much. We were not used to this. Maybe you go and went and met people personally, or maybe you called people, or even this the messaging that comes, be it WhatsApp or anything. Maybe 10 years back, such a concept was not there. We used to always call people, right? You had a landline phone, or even you want to tell someone something, you had to ring, you had to call people. But today, what we do is 50% or rather 80% of the calls have reduced, right? You type a message, you feel that's more easy, that's more convenient. So maybe 10 years back, if someone had said no, messaging was something which is new or that is going to exist, you cannot say that no, such a concept does not exist at all. It has not come today, that doesn't mean that it will never come in future. Or maybe like people used to say life on moon will be impossible, life on sun will be impossible. Now we have missions on the moon, missions on the sun that are going on. Whether life will take place or it will not take place, that is future. But sitting and just speaking about things, no, such a thing will never exist. You have not witnessed such things, so therefore you cannot pass on comments that such things will exist or they will not exist. The same is applicable even here. Just because you don't feel something, just because you don't see something in front of your eyes, doesn't mean that such a thing does not exist. You wish to believe, you don't wish to believe, that's your personal choice. But just sitting and passing on comments, no such things do not exist, everything whatever we see around, I cannot believe, you show me something. This is one explanation that is there. The third explanation that is there is, even though none of us till date we have not seen maybe the physical form of the Lord, still we do believe, or rather we have experiences wherein we have felt the presence of God, right? Has anyone had such experiences wherein you feel that no, surely God is there? Let's not call it as God. Maybe some supreme energy is there, or maybe you got saved from situations like miracles. Has anyone experienced miracles? Any? Yes. Can be even a small miracle, right? But there are things that exist like this, wherein later once the thing has happened, we do feel that oh, surely it was God saved me, and so on we say, right? Now this is something which is not applicable only for maybe Hinduism or Indian culture alone. It is for all religions or all states of belief, wherein whether you believe in a particular religion, a particular sect also, that is everyone, wherever we belong to, we believe in that. But then no one can decline that there is some energy which is ruling, and we do believe in that, right? So hope or faith, trust, or you can say when miracles are something which do happen. Maybe till 5 minutes back things were different, in 5 minutes the world changes, right? So there are this concept of miracles that is there is only after such things happen, then we slowly start believing, oh, things do happen like this. Or maybe you see sometimes some people will I'm just giving you some examples like this so that the concepts that are mentioned, we should never have any place for doubts that are there. Otherwise, if we have place for doubts, we stop believing and then we feel that everything is fantasy. So that's the reason I'm just giving you these examples. Now sometimes it does happen, right? Maybe you do a particular thing, say for example, now every time, or a very simple example, some people maybe every day you fall at the feet of the Lord, maybe you do your home worship or so on, or maybe you pray to the Lord, you have a wish, or so you go to a temple or at your own house, anything, and suddenly maybe a flower also falls down. Now, here you look at it with two aspects. One is air, or it was not kept properly, wind blew, the flower fell down. It's just a coincidence that you bowed down and the flower fell. This is one way of looking at it. Another way, no, I asked for something and that's how the flower fell. Now, surely my wish is going to be fulfilled. So, it is like a blessing that I got from God. This is another way, and people believe it this way also. Now, both these ways are there. It's your choice how you want to believe. Maybe after 2 days later, really the wish got fulfilled. Maybe let us consider it that way. Then which one will you believe? You believe the second category. That is, maybe it was truly that day God's blessing that I bowed down, I asked for a wish, the flower fell. 2 days later, my wish is fulfilled. So maybe that is the blessing that is there. So once you experiences the flower fell, your wish got fulfilled. Maybe the second time also such a thing happened. Now always whenever a flower falls, you'll always believe that all your wishes are fulfilled, right? But say for example, first time the flower fell, nothing happened. Second time also your flower falls, still you keep hope. You don't lose hope. First time things don't happen, still we keep hope. Second time the flower falls, say no. Maybe this time, let's see if it happens. Nothing happens. Third, fourth, like this, it happens, but then maybe whatever wish you asked, it doesn't get fulfilled. Then maybe the fifth or sixth time when the flower falls, and then no, it is just because of wind. So there we can come to a conclusion. It's not no wishes, no blessings, nothing. It's just because of the wind, mere coincidence that the flower falls, nothing happens. So here you see what if there are two different people, they have two such different experiences. One is always a flower falls, but none of the wishes are getting fulfilled, he will stop believing. But for the second person, every time a wish falls, maybe every time the flower falls, maybe his wish got fulfilled. It can be mere coincidence or destiny, but still he will start believing no. Whenever a flower, rather he'll be waiting when a flower will fall so that his wish gets fulfilled. So this concept that is there through this example, what I'm trying to say is this faith or belief, trust that we have solely depends on personal experience. So even for people who are nastikas, now it's not just to impose and tell that you have to believe in something called God also. Even for people who don't believe in the principle of God, it's just through mere experiences that people start changing their beliefs and faiths. Like this flower example I gave you, that person may be a nastika, but still one or two times if the flower has fallen down, the third time whenever the flower falls, he has that hope that this time also my wish will be fulfilled. But An astika, maybe a person who believes, even he also can turn out to be an astika if whenever a flower falls is none, even a single wish is not getting fulfilled, merely the flower is falling down. So it's just on the perspective that is there of every person, and depending on the situation, we change our belief, trust, faith, and so on. So randomly jumping to conclusions that such a thing does not exist at all or such a thing exists, yes, some people, it can be even the other way around. Some people, you see, they're so everywhere, you see, even in their puja room also, if there are some 10 idols or so, each and every idol they will touch and they will fall at the feet. For each and every idol they will keep on looking at the idol 10, 15 times. I've seen this out of in my own house, or sometimes it happens even with me. So that is, or maybe you go for an exam or so, every time you fall, maybe till that day you never look at, you could never enter your puja room, but on that day you go to a temple, you see, even the roadside, you go anywhere, you see a small idol of the Lord, you fall at the feet. You see a church, you go there from outside. You see a mosque, you'll bow down from outside. Everything, all places of worship, we go, and maybe you see something, we fall at the feet and come. Why so? Because at that time it is our need. No, I've not studied anything, but at least some magic happens, it is good. Right? So at that time, belief or faith is at its peak. But when things are very happy, the normal life is going on, I'm enjoying everything, no worries, nothing. We are so busy in enjoying things that at that time we forget. We don't, you see a church, you see a mosque, you see a temple, you just pass on by looking. You don't go and maybe bow down, or you nothing you do, right? You just pass about nicely. So this is through, or maybe when the same thing, when dukkhas come, when sorrow comes, or when bad times come, at that time, then we have to go and we have to complain, we start blaming the Lord and so on. So it's just, the point is, the concluding point is, when we say sangraha meaning connection with the devotees. So that is a lot raised to say that if you have faith, if you have good mindset, I'm surely there. I like to stay with my devotees who show devotion to me. I'm not trying to impose anything, but if you like to spend time doing good things, I'll surely be there. So it's just your personal choice. So through this, whenever we look at such stories, now it's not only limited for Vishnu Sahasranama. In general, when we come across things that some devotee came and saw God in front of his eyes, or some things like there will be many situations wherein faith is questioned, or maybe you will have someone else only coming, why are you worshipping this? Why are you doing this? And so on. So for them, you can always give this answer that this faith, belief, or trust, or hope, whatever you call it, it's just on personal experiences. Today, I'm at this, the same situation will be different for two different people, right? So it is just how each one's experiences are there, and depending on the experience, each one changes their hope. And when people come and question such things, they let them belong to any sect. But then, hope, belief, faith, trust, these are all things which are, you can say, the base of human nature. So very simple question you ask people when people try to show something, let me see with my naked eyes, then I'll be happy. Only then I will believe. For them, only a simple one small question you have to ask is, you believe, you don't believe, that's your choice. You don't tell me, you don't come in my way. I want to believe in things, I will do that. For them, only a simple question is asked is, whatever you say that you want to see in front of your eyes, even this life also you cannot see, right, with your eyes. Though you make plans, 50 years later I'll do this, 10 years later I'll do this, forget about 10 years. Next morning I'll get up at this time and do this. There is no guarantee whether you can get up the next morning, right? But still we keep alarms, still we plan for the next day and so on. Can you see your eyes? Can you see your life with your eyes? You cannot see that, right? There is no guarantee. Now it is 9:35. We never know whether till 9:45 also will be alive, right? It just takes for a minute for the breath to go away. But still we have faith. No, tomorrow everyone will come at 9 to 10. I send a message, right? Tomorrow we'll join at this time. That is, I have faith that tomorrow the class will be there. I have faith that all of you will join in. Similarly, you also have the faith that no, tomorrow all of us will attend this class. 9 to 10, she will speak something about the Vishnu Sahasranama. I'm going to hear that. So, for things wherein people ask, just as Bhattatri also tells in Narayana, Tarka Shastram is on one side, logic is on one side, but there are many things which are beyond our logic. Still, the world has to live on hope and faith. You have to have things on hope, faith, belief also. You have belief in things, you have trust in things. On things and people, that's your personal choice. Nobody is going to tell you anything. But there are people who, for each and everything, they'll come and poke us. So if you come and poke, it's just on personal experiences. Each one's personal choice and personal experiences that people change their faith accordingly. So that's the reason I give you the flower example. For one person, it might be favorable. For one person, it might be not. Or even you take one more example, the different seasons that come in. Rainy season. Now, the rainy season, even the timing is important. During the rainy season, if rains are there, the farmers will be waiting. It will be a blessing for the farmer. But If it rains untimely, the same rains are cursed by the farmers. You'll say, no, rain should stop, my crops are getting ruined. The thing is same, depending on the situation, it changes. Similarly, even faith in God. If things are happening as per our wishes, life is going very well, we pray to the Lord. That is, we are very, very happy. But when things go on the wrong side, life is full of sorrows, dukkhas come in, at that time the same God is being cursed. Right? So it's just on situations that happen. So belief or trust that is there, or through this story is also the Alvar saw the Lord. It can be many instances wherein someone sees God personally or physically. When such stories come in, there should be no place for doubt at all. It's just on people's personal aspects that are there. Things have happened, someone has seen that, we are no one to question. Just because you have not experienced it, we cannot question that at all. Okay, so Sangraha is this number. Did everyone understand? Of course, the explanation was too prolonged still. Chadayam. Tirvonam, Avitam, Chadayam. Name of the Alvars, one is Peri Alvar. First you call is the first three Alvars. We have to check because the order little can be different. With the first three Alvars, you can note it. That is better. Yes. Yeah. Ah, share. Hmm. 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 Ah. Hmm. 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 Correct. Correct. Ah. Hmm. Correct. Correct. Right. So yeah, just as she shared, it's her own personal experience that she felt, wherein sometimes suddenly it happened that everything went all right and you don't have to go and visit the doctor. Right. So it's just faith that has to play. Okay, let's continue. Next is Sangraha is this meaning. So wherein the Lord himself he connects with the devotees. Next is Sargaha. Srijya Sargahetutvad Sargaha. The one who is the cause of creation, that is Sargaha. Or he takes different forms, different avatars, that is Sargaha. For this, there is a story. So there were two saints, you can say, not two saints, a sage and his wife. Sage was Sutapa, his name was Sutapa, and his wife was Pushni. The both of them they prayed to the Lord and they told the Lord that we want a son like you. The Lord came in front of them and told that there is no concept like me. There will be, if there is one Lord, there's only one Lord, right? Be it anything of all sects you call, God is God. We don't say, no, this is one God, that is one God. The definition of God is same. Whatever belief you believe, whatever you can say religion or practice, wherever you believe in, God is God. That's it. There will be different forms, different names, different ways of practices that we follow. All that is different. But God, when we say, that is only one. So therefore, the Lord he comes in front of the sage Sutapa and Pushni, and he says that there is no concept like me. If you want, I myself will be born to you. So both of them they feel very happy, and they had asked. Now suddenly, say for example, you are meditating. Suddenly, if the Lord comes in front of our eyes, now in case of us, maybe all of us will run away, right? Because for us it is very nicely it has been kept in our minds that the Lord will be found only in idols, temples, and so on. So if someone even in reality, if God comes in front of our eyes, first of all, maybe we'll faint and fall, or secondly, maybe we'll run away from there thinking that this some one fraud has come, right? But in the case of the sage Sutapa and Pushni also, the same thing happened. They were shocked to see the Lord because they had been meditating for a long time, and suddenly the Lord was pleased. He comes in front of them, and they asked this boon three times, saying that we want a son like you, we want a son like you, we want a son like you. Actually, they wanted only one, but in their excitement, in their happiness in seeing the Lord, they ended up asking this boon three times. So the Lord says that there is none like me. I myself will be born to you three times in three different avatars. First avatara, he was born as Prishni Garbha. Prishni Garbha because he was born through the Garbha of Prishni or Pushni. That's how he gets the name Prishni Garbha. Second is the Vamana Avatara. The same Sutapa and Pushni, they are reborn as Aditi Kashyapa, and that's how Vamana, that is, the Lord is born through them as Vamana. Now, if the Lord takes an avatara, the goddess also has to take an avatara. Rama is born, Sita has to come. Krishna is born, Rukmini has to come. So, like this, there are different avatars which take place. Now, even in the other avatars, be it the Matsya avatara, Kurma avatara, and so on. Kurma avatara, Samudra Manthana, the goddess comes out in the form of goddess Mahalakshmi as a daughter of ocean. Or if it is Varaha, then goddess Mahalakshmi is always now in other avatars wherein the goddess does not take a separate avatara, she always stays in the chest. Vakshastane Vasati Lakshmi. Vakshastanam, she stays in the Lord, chest of the Lord. So if Varaha Bhagavan has to come, she is always present in the chest of the Lord. So this is a belief. But now the problem with Vamana Avatara was Vamana was a brahmachari. So first of all, the goddess cannot take an incarnation like Sita, Rukmini, and so on. This is the first problem. Secondly, he cannot place her even in his chest because he was a brahmachari. So, a woman coming and sitting on the chest is not appreciable. But now, as per the rules, if the Lord has to take an incarnation, the goddess too has to come. There is equality. Now, Vamana thinks what to do. So, as the story goes on the Vamana Avatara, when Mahabali surrenders, that is when Vamana takes his Trivikrama Rupa. Trivikrama Rupa is his big form, Vishwarupa. At that time, Mahalakshmi, what she does is, now Vishnu cannot remove Mahalakshmi from his chest. But Vamana could not show. Mahabali is there in front of him. Mahabali will see. And then immediately he'll say, no, this is a fraud person. Because, one second. Yeah. So this is someone who is fraud, who has come in the form of a brahmachari. A woman is sitting on his chest and so on. What is this? So therefore, but every time what happens is, Vamana was trying to push Lakshmi Devi down, it seems, from his chest. But Lakshmi Devi, every time she was coming to pop up. She always wanted to be present. Now, this shows the significance of Lakshmi Kataksham. Now, Lakshmi Devi has to be present in all of our lives also. When will she be present? And if today, if you are chanting maybe the Vishnu Sahasranama, you're knowing the stories and all that, Lakshmi Kataksham is very, very important. That's the reason we say money is important. Right? What is money? Money is nothing but prosperity. How much ever you grow in life, money is also something which is equally important. Some people say, no, money cannot buy things. Money cannot buy happiness. That is very much true. But then we cannot live without money also. Money is also an aspect which is important. So that is prosperity. So goddess Mahalakshmi, or even to get the grace of the Lord, goddess's kataksham is very, very important. So therefore, when Vamana was blessing Mahabali, Lakshmi kataksham was also very much needed. That's the reason the goddess tries to pop out. Vamana tells you go down, otherwise my rules of brahmachari ashrama will be broken. I've taken an avatara as a brahmachari, you cannot be there. Lakshmi says, no, if you are blessing the Lord without my grace, your grace will be useless. That's the reason whenever we go to some temples also, we have to always first go visit the Sannidhi of the goddess, then the Lord's. Because the goddess is considered to be the mother. Just as now in our everyday lives also, how far it is true, it changes from one family to another, but still, things are needed to be done. First, we go and approach the mother and then the father, right? Same thing has to be done here. And majorly, you see 99% of the things, the first level with the mother only it will be done. Something serious happens and you go and approach your father. Even then, many times it happens that you want to tell something to your father, you go through your mother, right? Nowadays, of course, maybe such things are not done, but in generally, this is what things were followed. So therefore, the goddess also, if you have to get the grace of the Lord, it is believed that the goddess's grace is very, very important. So goddess Mahalakshmi says, if you are trying to bless Mahabali, it is of no use if I am not there. So Vamana, what he does is he picks up a deer skin from a nearby place. He picks up a small uh, piece of deer skin and he applies it. He keeps this with him just to hide goddess Mahalakshmi who was there on his chest. And that's how from that day onwards you have the deer skin that is kept by brahmacharis. Especially during the Upanayana, the boy, the brahmachari boy, as a small piece of deer skin. So from the Vamana Avatara significance, this has come. So he picks up a small piece of deer skin and he tries to hide Mahalakshmi who was sitting on his chest, and that's how he blesses Mahabali. So this was the second avatara, Aditi Kashyapa, whose son was Mahabali. Third is Devaki and Krishna. Devaki Vasudeva, he was born as Krishna. So Sutapa and Pushni, they reincarnated. They were born in the third Janma as Devaki and Vasudeva, and that's how the Lord was born to them as Krishna. So this is Sargaha. Sargaha meaning the same Lord is manifesting in different forms, in different yugas, and different avatars. Why this is done is Sargaha, meaning creation, to increase creation, to increase the family dynasty, to show His grace, show the powers to the world, and so on. Now, here in this form, if the Lord is worshipped in the Nachiyar temple of Tamil Nadu, again Nachiyar Srinivasa, or any Srinivasa temple for Lord Venkatesha, if he is Vishnu in general, if he is worshipped on any Saturday, especially today is a Saturday, uh, in any local of our Srinivasa temple, most popularly it is the Nachiyar temple of Tamil Nadu, but still in our own area, wherever you live in, whichever country or place you live in, if you have a Vishnu temple, or if you worship rather Vishnu on a Saturday, it is equal to worship Lord Srinivasa of Tirumala 16 times, it seems. So in our case, maybe we are very, very auspicious. It is a Saturday, and this Saturday is very, very important because it is the month of Puratasi, Tamil month of Puratasi, very, very auspicious for Lord Venkatesha. So God's grace. So here the thing that has come is here in this Sargaha itself, the Lord mentions that though I manifest in various forms, be it first as Krishna Garba, later as Vamana, next as Krishna, and also the other different avatars that I take. If one worships me on a Saturday, very, very auspicious for Lord Vishnu, that too in this temple of Nachia in Tamil Nadu, the Nachia Srinivasa temple, or in any Vishnu or Venkatesha temple you go and visit on a Saturday, is very, very auspicious. It is as if worshipping Tirumala Tirupati 16 times, it seems. That is the grace of the Lord. So, Sargaya Namaha. This is a Rama here, meaning one who manifests himself in various forms in order to bless his devotees and guide his devotees on the right path. We also chant this Nama. Phalashruti is just as the Lord blessed this couple Sutapa and Krishna in various forms, He will also come and bless all of our lives. Okay, is this Nama clear? Yeah? Yes. Yes. Hmm. Very auspicious, very nice. So it has to be the grace of the Lord. Without that, nothing is possible, right? So, yes. So many people they make a trip, especially during this month, Karkata Masam, the next month that is there. You have to immediately go. That is this current month. I think last this is the third Saturday. I suppose maybe you'll have one or two more. So Saturday very auspicious. Though we chant the Vishnu Sahasranama and so on, there are you can chant it. You can maybe worship Lord Vishnu. Very auspicious this month to worship Lord Vishnu. So anything that we do in praise of the Lord, you chant some mantras, you worship some temples or anything. Whatever you do, it's very, very auspicious. Next is Dhritatma. Ekarupeణ janmadi rahitataya dhritaha atma yena saha, meaning one who holds himself unchanging, in an unchanging form, that is one who does not go through birth. Now here, now through this what happens is one who tries to showcase his grace. Now in the form in order to bless his devotees, he takes different avatars, but apart from that also, every time he's free from birth and death, just as Krishna highlights in the Gita also. So similarly the Lord is Ajaha. Ajaha meaning one who is free from Ja. Ja, this Aksharam, a very interesting aspect. Ja, this Aksharam. Cha, Cha, Ja, third. It is always related with creation. Ja, Janma, Ja, Janani, Ja, Jara, Jara, old age, Janma, Ja, birth, Janani, mother, one who gives birth. So this Ja Shabdam is always associated with creation. So sometimes even Adi Shankaracharya, in a few philosophical texts like Bhajagovindam, he says, be careful from this letter Ja. Why? Because Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jathare Shayanam, Jatharam again Jatharam, womb. Iha samsare bahudustare kripaya pare pahimurare. That verse, what he says is, be careful. You have taken birth, you have taken death also will take place, but what you make of life is very, very important. So be careful there. Otherwise, every time take birth in the womb of a mother, stay there for 9 months for human beings. But as other creations, again, it is going to change. Then again, you come out. Then what you do of your life is very, very important. So make your life fruitful. Otherwise, it's of no use if you're putting so much efforts. Your parents have put in efforts. 9 months, your mother has born you. You have lived in that womb in a very small place for 9 months. A lot of pain you have suffered. Now, after you're putting in a lot of efforts, you finally come out. If you don't make the best of it, next time also you have to undergo all the same thing. So ja janma, ja janani, ja jathara, be careful from all this. Whereas for the Lord, his name is Ajaha. He's free from birth, that is, he can choose his birth. So that's this again you have the famous conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. Arjuna he asks, you're so lucky, you can take a birth wherever you wish. Now all of us, we cannot decide our birth, right? Once you are born in a particular family, I'm born. She is my mother, she's my father. So right from the day you're born, every creation lives on faith, right? Now here all of us also, you call a person as your mother, you call a person as your father. How you know? Did someone tell you? Your own mother told, I'm your mother. Your own father told, I'm your father. Day one, you start believing. None of us, we go and maybe you do a DNA test or so. You don't do that. You believe, right? But maybe now a few things are there. The facial features look like that. But that is also not guaranteed, right? Oh, no, I look like my mother. I look like my father. So looking at that, few things we just say randomly. But these are not evidences. These are not proofs. But still we believe. None of us will go and ask our own mother, you show me what is a proof. And so on. We don't do that, right? But maybe you have the birth certificate, this, that, she will show you some photos, maybe with the like this, such things are there, but nothing is evident. There are no proofs. But so Arjuna has this question, he has this problem. He tells, what is all this? I cannot decide anything. One fine day I'm born in a particular place. Human beings will be told you're born here, and from that day onwards I'm believing. Then how my parents treat me, it just depends on them. If they are good, well and good. If they are evil, no parents are evil, but still the way they bring me, the same path I also follow. So maybe at least for 10, 15 years, or maximum till 20 years or so, as my parents, still I have to live my life, right? There is no option. If they take me on the right path, it is fine. Otherwise, fully problems, I have to suffer. Then relations come in. So many problems are there. Whereas in your case, you are lucky. You can decide when you want to take birth, when you want to die. Then Arjuna, he adds something to this. He tells, by the time I adjust in a particular life or so, till then my life is about to end. That is, death comes in. Because life is limited. I can live only for 100 years, or depending on the time period, for a very limited time. So therefore that also will end. By the time I get adjusted to everything, and by the time life goes about smoothly, the time to die comes in. Or maybe I'm hit by jara, old age, or maybe some kind of vyadhi, disease, and so on. In that also, you see, human life, if you think very deeply, out of 100 years lifespan, few days of our life go in old age, few days go in diseases, few days maybe in solving problems, few days in arguments, few days maybe our own personal illness or someone else's illness. So if you think about very, then 8 to 9 hours of our, even let us consider 7 to 8 hours sleep, 4 to 5 hours eating. Next is doing our everyday activities. Out of all this, if you think very nicely, and then work is one thing wherein people do work. Out of all this, if you put down, maybe a human being of 50, 60 years, or rather 70 years, 80 to 90%, he does only in doing all these things. Problems come in, solving that, health issues, fetching for yourself. In that, sleeping, eating, doing our everyday things, in that most of our life goes. Only 10% is something wherein it is time for you, and that time what you do is very, very auspicious. So Arjuna has this problem. He says, human life is like this, I'm fed up. Instead, I want a life like you. You're so lucky. It is a law. You can decide when you want to take birth, you can decide in whose house you want to take birth, you can decide for how many years you want to stay, and so on. So for them, the Lord says that this is something which exists. This is human. This is the problem that human beings have, and there is no solution for this at all. That is, they will always look at others and they will compare. They will never count their own blessings. They will never feel what I have with me, I'm satisfied with that. They'll always look at others and they will compare. You have this, I don't have that. He is so happy in life, I am faced with all the problems in life. And this is something that is which always keeps you sad. And if you have this mentality, you will never be happy. This is what Krishna has told then to Arjuna. The same thing we experience, right? You look at someone, oh, he has got that, I don't have that, right? But when we get to know things that we are blessed or we have something more, is when you look at someone maybe who does not have things that we have, right? So this is a comparative mentality, which is like everyone has. Nobody can decline that. You look at someone immediately, feel, oh, he has that, I don't have that. Maybe you look at someone, oh, I have at least this. This child does not have that. So this is something wherein we look at others and compare. Krishna tells the day you stop comparing, you'll be very happy. Whatever you have, you put in efforts to get what you want. Whatever you get, whatever you've been blessed with, you accept that and lead a good life. You enjoy that when you are there. Otherwise, Danam Tritiya Gatim, a very, very popular Subhashana. Danam Tritiya Gatim, meaning you have wealth, you use it for yourself. First, you have wealth, you give it in Danam, help others. Second, if you don't use it for yourself, nor if you give it to others also, Tritiya Gatim is it will be for no one. After you die, who's going to take what is going to be done of that? Nothing can be told now. You also will not use. You're not using it for others. Then it is just life will just go waste. This aspect, this is a Subhashitam which has been told, I think, by Bhartruhari, a great Sanskrit poet, wherein he says that if you don't use things that you have, you don't have to be a miser. Never be miserly. Either you use it for good purposes, or it's okay. You don't want to give it to others, it's fine. At least you enjoy, you use it for yourself. You see, some people, they will not use it for themselves, nor they will give anything to anyone. What is the use then? Just collecting things. Savings are important, but if you go overboard, it is waste. So coming back, so Krishna and Arjuna, they have a topic on this. They have an argument. So the Lord says everyone feels that their life is very happy, but then, yes, Jataram, womb, mother's womb. Yes. So here again, so Krishna says that at least your life is blessed. You don't know things from before. You don't know whether life will be good, life will be bad, and so on. In my case, I already know my purpose. Though you feel, though I can decide where I have to be born, it's not that I decide. Like in the case of Sutapa and Krishni, I had promised them that I will be born as your son. So I don't have a choice, I have to be born there. Like you, I cannot decide, oh, today I don't feel like going, I'll not go, I'll rest at home. I cannot do that. Then before I'm born only, I know that I have some purposes that have to be fulfilled. And anyhow, I have to do that. Not even a single minute I can sit and rest for myself. I have to kill Ravana, I have to kill Kumbhakarna. This is my purpose. My wife is going to be abducted. I'm going to sit and cry like a man. I know all this. Everything is predestined for me. I don't have an option to change anything. In the case of Krishna, right from the time the child was born, demons are coming and attacking. At least in your case, problems are coming, but you're not aware of that. Right? So be happy with what you have. Like this, if we keep comparing, everyone's life is full of sorrows. So now coming back to this Nama, Dhritatma. It so happens that Alvars, again you have to go to the story of Alvars, wherein he wrote a text called Tirumale. Tirumale is again a Sangam literature text in praise of Lord Ranganatha, wherein he writes about the surrender of Bali, Mahabali. So this concept that is there is surrender or gratitude. Now this all this that explanation that I told you, wherein we look at others, we compare and so on through by giving up this quality of, you can say, this habit of comparison, instead if we develop this quality of surrender that is there, saying that I have things, but then maybe little pride came in, and that has brought my downfall. The same thing that happened with Mahabali. But what happens is the Lord in the form of Vamana, he blessed Mahabali. He keeps his feet on the head of Mahabali. And this shows, now there are some references wherein it is said that the Lord kept his feet on the head of Mahabali. Some people say it is not, doesn't happen physically, it is just symbolical. Basically, he blessed Mahabali. That's it. So when we fall at the feet of someone, doesn't mean that they lift their feet and keep on our heads, right? It's just a sense of blessing. So like this, there are Puranic references, Puranic differences that are there. So here through the story, Dhritatmane Namaha, when we chant, one on whom we have to surrender. You have best things in life, you be happy with that. You don't have things in life, don't be sad about it also. There are few things which can be changed, there are few things which cannot be changed. The Lord is free from birth and so on, but still he has his own set of problems. He's an Avatara Purushas are sages also. He is the one who takes some different avatars. They have a purpose. Already they are predestined to do such things. So this is the concept of surrender that is there. You have things, but at least you develop a sense of surrender, not only to the Lord. This Nama, Dhritatmane Namaha, Dhritatma, it also means to develop a sense of gratitude. Someone gives us something good also, we say thank you. What is thank you? Sense of gratitude, right? If we do something wrong, we say sorry. Or we want to request someone, we say please. What is all this? We say good manners. It's nothing but a sense, you can say a sense of respect, or gratitude that we have, which has to be developed. And this is very, very symbolical, wherein you go to Vishnu temple, especially, you have the Shatadi. Shatadi is nothing but the crown that is kept on people's heads, right? That is nothing but it is a significance of Vamana blessing Mahabali. So it is like the Lord has been blessing all of us. That's the reason the crown, the Shatadi is kept on all our heads, right? You go to Vishnu temples. That is the significance here. So Dhritatmane Namaha, Dhritatma is the Lord who holds himself in an unchanging form. The Lord is always there, he just manifests in different forms. Here you have the example of Mahabali in the form of a Vamana, and Mahabali, Vishnu in the form of Vamana, who comes and blesses Mahabali, who tries to show the world the sense of gratitude and surrender. So Dhritatmane Namaha is a nama, wherein if we develop this quality of gratefulness and surrender towards the Lord. Okay, so today time is up. I hope everyone understood. Okay, so let's stop here.